Hello, Dr. Keith Miller here to discuss the mineral properties of color, streak, and luster. Color is probably one of the most obvious mineral properties, but is also one of the least useful for mineral identification. And that's because even the presence of a tiny amount of a contaminating element can change the color of a mineral. A number of minerals display considerable range in color. So if we look at this collection of minerals, these 4 specimens all represent the same mineral, even though they have very vastly different colors. They all have the same chemical composition. So some minerals have quite a natural range of color. Similarly, both of these specimens represent the same mineral as well. A few minerals, however, do have distinctive colors. For example, things like sulfur, galena, pyrite are minerals whose color is distinctive. There is one way in which color can be a broadly useful mineral property. Very generally, the more iron and magnesium there is present within the chemical composition of the mineral, the darker its color. So we can sort minerals relatively according to darker or lighter categories, recognizing that there are some minerals that will be placed into both groups. A more dependable property than color for identifying minerals is something called streak. When a mineral with a hardness less than that of a porcelain streak plate, such as this, which is about 6.5, is rubbed across it, a streak of powder will be left behind. So when we make a streak on a plate, rub a mineral across this porcelain plate, the color of that powdered streak is more consistent for a particular mineral than is its surface color. So I have here 2 different samples of the same mineral. Even though they have very different external appearance and a different external surface color, these actually represent the same mineral. So if I take these and make a scratch, here's the other one. We notice that the streak on this porcelain plate is the same color, both kind of a brownish red color, even though the external appearance of the minerals is different. The final mineral property that is related to a mineral's external appearance is the mineral property of luster. Luster refers to the way that light reflects off the surface of a mineral. The most important distinction in mineral luster is that between metallic and non-metallic luster. As the name implies, metallic luster refers to a mineral that has a metallic appearance. These minerals are completely opaque, which means that light does not penetrate into the surface, but is entirely reflected off. So the minerals are highly reflective. So let's look at a collection of minerals and separate those with metallic luster from those without. So again, here we have an assortment of minerals, and we'll separate them according to their lusters, whether they're metallic or non-metallic. So, for example, this mineral has a clearly metallic luster. It's completely opaque, light isn't penetrating the surface, it has very reflective surfaces, like you would expect in a metal. On the other hand, here's another mineral that, while it's shiny, is transparent or translucent. The light is penetrating into the mineral rather than completely reflecting off. So this is a non-metallic luster. Similarly, this. It's shiny, it's reflective, but it's transparent. Here's another mineral, again with a very metallic appearance, completely opaque, and very reflective. So this is a metallic luster. Again, this does not have a metallic appearance. So this is non-metallic. This mineral is relatively opaque, but it doesn't have the kind of really sharp reflective surface that a metallic or metal would have. So this is non-metallic. Again, mineral with a very reflective surface, but again, it's translucent to transparent. Other examples of non-metallic lusters. Again, clearly non-metallic in appearance. And another one, which is metallic, doesn't have those really bright, shiny surfaces, but you can see how very bright and reflective the surface of that mineral is. Okay, a variety of terms have been used to describe the appearance of minerals with non-metallic lusters. For example, this collection here that we've separated. I'll briefly introduce you to some of the more common terms. Glassy or vitreous minerals, for example these, have a bright reflective surface, but have the appearance of broken glass. So that's why they're called glassy or vitreous. So they have a glassy appearance to them. By contrast, resonance minerals, such as this one, have an amber-like appearance and are not as reflective as those, or shiny as the vitreous or glassy lustered minerals. Some minerals have a pearly luster that represents the iridescent look of pearl, which is why it's called pearly. So this is especially common for minerals that have perfect basal cleavage, such as this one. Very commonly has a pearly luster on the surface. A mineral with a greasy luster, such as this, has the look of being coated in oil, and so it's been dipped in oil. Lastly, there are minerals that have a dull or earthy appearance. They may be dark, they may be light, but they have a very earthy, dull, completely non-reflective surface. And there are also some that even have a silky or satiny appearance, such as this. To review, all the mineral properties that we have discussed, of all those different mineral properties, color is the least useful for mineral identification. However, we can broadly group minerals into darker or lighter categories, recognizing that some minerals will be in both categories, that some minerals can be both light or dark. The color of powder produced by scratching a mineral on a streak plate, however, is a more reliable measure for mineral identification. It's much more reliable than just surface color alone. Finally, luster can be a useful property, particularly for distinguishing metallic from non-metallic minerals. You can now utilize all of the mineral properties that we've discussed in these hands-on videos, both this one and the previous hands-on videos, to identify the mineral specimens in your own collections.